Exploring data. Introduction. Data analysis. Making sense of data. We are going to consider analyzing categorical data, displaying quantitative data with graphs, describing quantitative data with numbers. The learning objectives for this course will, at the end of this lesson, you should be able to define individuals and variables, distinguish between categorical and quantitative variables, define distribution. What is statistics? Statistics is the science of data. Data analysis is the process of organizing, displaying, summarizing, and asking questions about data. What is the definition of individuals? Individual is an object like people, animal, things, described by a set of data. What is variable? Variable is any characteristics of an individual, any characteristics of people, animal, or things. It can be color, it can be height, and so on. So we have two types of variables. We have categorical variables and quantitative variables. Categorical variables places an individual into one of several groups of categories. Quantitative variables takes numerical values for which it makes sense to find an average. A variable generally takes on many different values. In data analysis, we are interested in how often a variable takes on each values. So what is definition of distribution? Distribution tells us what value a variable takes and how often it takes those values. An example is models of cars and their MPGs, miles per gallons, that those cars can cover. So we have Acura and the rest, Audi, Bentley, and we can see beside it we have the MPGs that those vehicles can cover. So variables of interest is the MPG. So for us as data analysts, what can we do? We can plot the values of those MPGs for different vehicles, or to see the values that occurs for each of the models. How to explore data? First of all, examine each variable by itself, then study relationship among the variables. 2, you can start with a graph or graphs to show the relationship between the variables and the value that are beside those variables. Values, the relationship between the values. Also, we can add numerical summary. Numerical summary, it will show us the mean, the standard deviation, the variance of the variables, numerical variables in the data presented to us. So in this section, we learned that a data set contains information on individual. For each individual, data gives value for one or more variables. Variables can be categorized as categorical variables or quantitative variables. Then also we talked about the distribution of variable. The distribution of a variable describes what value it takes and how often it takes them. Reference. Thank you.